Hey, welcome back. Miguel Dorati here on the CRP, and we are going to take a look at the UFC 242 main event. The UFC 242 coming to us this Saturday from Abu Dhabi. So you want to check your local listings. You'll probably see the main event going down in the afternoon. Obviously, we're talking about lightweight title fight between champion Khabib Nurmagomedov and Dustin the Diamond Poirier. The fight, it's been put together for a little bit. Both guys have been training for it and very focused on the fight. There's a lot of rhetoric. A lot has been said. We are in fight week now, and the odds makers have spoken. Khabib, a minus 450 favorite as he heads into the fight with Poirier. Poirier returning at plus 360. What does that mean? Khabib, you got to bet $450 to win $100. And for Poirier, if you bet $100, you win $360. So there is an opportunity there if you view Poirier as a live dog to put some money on Poirier and make some money. Very interesting note. Earlier this week on Sunday evening, Khabib was at minus 440. So the fact that he's moved to 450 means some money continues to come in on Khabib. A lot of people are not buying Poirier on this one. And quite honestly, in a title fight of this nature, a plus 360 in the UFC, not boxing, but in the UFC, that's a wide, almost disrespectful line towards Poirier. So what's Poirier bring to the table? Look, at 170, he looks like, he could still be big. So I think against Nurmagomedov, they're going to look at each other face to face, and he's going to knock off some of, check off some of the marks that Nurmagomedov always has, being bigger and stuff. I don't know if he's going to be bigger with Poirier. The wrestling obviously goes to Nurmagomedov, and that's what's going to be the bread and butter. He ties him up, controls, and is aggressive. I think Poirier has a chance, especially if he's able to do some damage early, or at least hold Nurmagomedov off and get his attention in the first round, hurt him in some way, shape, or form. He could then take control and maybe control the pace of the fight. Unless he's able to do that, then he's going to have a tall order here, because Nurmagomedov, even if he's not finishing you, he's usually banking rounds. So Poirier is probably going to have to try to finish the fight. Now, obviously, earlier it's better for him to do it in terms of power and stuff. But if you look at his last series of fights, the Alvarez fight, I'm talking about the first one of May of 2017, he wasn't lost in that fight. It was accident. It was called a no contest afterwards, and they did it again. And Poirier won in the second round by TKO. So, he put away Alvarez, a pretty decorated former champion. Anthony Pettis, he's had his ups and downs, but we can mark Anthony Pettis as a good win. And the least notable wins on Poirier's resume recently, because after that he beat Justin Gaethje, and Gaethje, is on fire right now in the weight class. Then he got the cleanup win with Alvarez, and then he beat 145-pound champion Max Holloway, who was moving up, and he did it in pretty decisive fashion there. So Poirier has looked solid. His last 5 performances show me that I think he's ready for this. The training camp, the training period, the fact that it's in Abu Dhabi, none of that really counts too much against Poirier. It does give Nurmagomedov perhaps less baggage in terms of they observe the 5 prayers a day in Abu Dhabi and things like that. So he'll maybe be more comfortable in a Muslim country doing the fight. But they're very receptive to the UFC there. One of the sheiks over there was a part owner of the UFC. At some point, he may still be. But the point is Poirier will be well received, and there shouldn't be any advantages there, at least none on the surface, or none that should rear their ugly head. So I think you're in a fair situation for Poirier. I'm surprised money is not coming on Poirier, and I think money will come in on him, because as we continue through fight week, we're going to see them at the press conferences, and then we'll see them at the weigh-ins, and then the fight comes, so it all comes pretty quickly. And if you are feeling Poirier, you may want to jump on it to see right now, getting him at plus 360. If that moves up to plus 400, you almost definitely want to jump on Dustin Poirier for this one. Even if Nurmagomedov wins, it's still a good bet in terms of the payback and the possibilities of it. So I'm Miguel Dorati for the CRP. The UFC 242 card from Abu Dhabi is this weekend. I want to look at the main event and the odds for it in terms of we got a live dog in Dustin Poirier.